Yo, hello, welcome. It is 8:30 p.m. Eastern. This is Logan from Lucky Trader alongside a little blurrier Danny Miranda tonight. He's dealing with some internet connectivity issues as we on the East Coast get bombarded with some storms here. So please bear with Danny. I can vouch for him being much better looking on most other occasions. I'm going to steal the limelight, though, I guess, in some ways here tonight, Danny. So I guess you'll have to deal with that. But glad to be here. Excited to be here tonight with everyone joining in. Thank you guys for all of your chats, your GMs as we get kicked off here. We have a special edition of the Lucky Trader Lounge tonight, Danny. We're actually giving away some whitelist spots to the Smilesss collection. We're going to talk about the Smilesss collection. We're going to talk about some of the updates to Lucky Trader that launched a little bit earlier today. And then we're going to also do our typical NFT banter. Does that sound okay with you?
Sounds great, my man.
Yeah, your audio is still perfect, of course, as what else would it be? If we do lose Danny for whatever reason at any point in time, I am fully prepared to do my best to broadcast this show appropriately. Again, Lucky Trader Lounge 5, episode 5, still getting the hang of things right from the broadcasting stand of view. But we're going to try. First and foremost, we do need to, because this is a giveaway, we need to talk about kind of the process and the unfolding for the giveaway, because that's why a lot of people are here. A lot of people are joining us for the very first time. Thank you for being here for the very first time. We are here every Thursday night, but also too sometimes impromptu for shows like this. However, we're going to be giving away something later tonight. I do want to give like 4 or 5 minutes for folks to come in, so I will probably reiterate this. But essentially, to be able to potentially win, you need to be present at least at one point in time during the stream. You need to grab, I'm going to drop a Google form in the chat for folks to fill out. Nothing personally, intrusive. You're just going to drop your name, email, Ethereum address, and then we're going to spin for it at the end of the show. Again, you don't need to be present at the end. We will contact you and reach out. But at some point in time, you'll need to be able to grab the Google form from the chat. So I'm going to give some time. We're going to fill that out. I know it's not super high tech, but that's what we're doing here. And we're going to go. Danny, you're getting some questions from the chat. Danny, are you streaming from 2007?
Just saw that. God bless. I'm so sorry, Carlos.
I know. Carlos.
I wish there was something more I could do about this.
A loyal viewer, Carlos, thanks for coming back. Danny, unfortunately, for those who may not be aware, dealing with some internet connectivity issues. He is yielding the limelight to me tonight. So anyway, without further ado, let's kind of get into it. I mentioned we're giving away something from the Smilesss collection, but we should actually get into like what the Smilesss collection looks like, what it is. So folks who may not be aware, folks who just saw giveaway and were like, okay, I want that. Let's like show it on the screen. I'm going to bring in my screen here in just a second. And we're going to talk about it. Danny, we spent a lot of time talking about like different collections, both NFTs, art editions. This is like a little bit of both. And I'm super curious just to get your raw take on this. And, we'll walk through this and we'll walk through the artist, some of his previous work as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. If at any point in time anyone has any questions, do our best to answer them. Please feel free to drop stuff in the chat. But let's go ahead, bring in my screen. So for those who may not be aware, you can head to smilesss.com, but that's Smilesss with 3 S's at the very, very end. This is, of course, the home right now of the collection, dropping a little bit later to this week, October 29th. Is that Friday? I lose track of my days here. I think that's Friday, Danny. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Dropping on Friday. Price of 0.1 Ethereum per collectible. Again, there are 8,888 total. And this image over here on the right, which of course was on the thumbnail for the show tonight as well, is just a representation of what you could potentially receive, right? This is generative, full body 3D characters. Before we even go anywhere else, Danny, compare this to some of the other art, some of the other collections that you've seen previously. Give me your like unfiltered initial take with the guy on the skateboard. Oh, we lost Danny. Never mind. we're not going to get Danny's take on the guy from the skateboard. I'm going to do my best now to hold things together as Logie just by himself. But anyway, for those who are hopping in, we're taking a look at the Smiles collection. Collection dropping a little bit later this week on Friday. 8,888 collectibles. The image here on the screen giving you an indication of kind of what this art actually looks like. It's coming from artist Waheed Zai, indicated here in this white text. And you can check out a lot of his other work. This is a really interesting artist in particular. If you take a look at, both his Instagram or his Twitter, and you take a look also through OpenSea, and you'll get a glimpse into some of the previous works. A lot of them look very similar to, of course, these characters and the manifestations of those that we'll get in the collectible drop. I think as I did some of my research here, and it's unfortunate that we're not going to get the banter. It looks like we got Danny back, actually. So we may get some banter. Hey, Danny.
Banter's back.
Yeah. Well, I was asking about your opinion here on this initial set of art, and realistically, like, wanted to get your feedback on, this is different, right? This is not your static 2D profile picture project. So, like, first reaction, like, what do you think about this?
The art's phenomenal. Like, the way that this artist is able to capture just, it feels like a cartoon, but at the same time, it feels like a cartoon that is from the future. And that's just the coolest mix. And I love it so much. I'm just drawn to it. So clearly drawn to it. What about you? What was your first take?
Yeah, actually, and before, full disclosure, like, before I knew we were giving anything away, I had stumbled into Waheed's work previously just through, I think, maybe one of the NFT lists that I follow on Twitter. And I was immediately drawn to it as well. And I started following, I believe, his Twitter individually and then the project as well. And then learned we were going to be able to do some giveaways for whitelist spots. Just really excited. A lot of just happenstance, really. But same thing, I'm kind of blown away at, like, the features. They feel really real, and, like, the 3D here. A lot of, like, the NFT stuff when we've talked about 3D has been, like, voxelated and, like, metaverse you know what I mean? Like Minecraft, Robloxy, like very blocky and not aesthetically pleasing. Smiles, and we're gonna get into the roadmap and everything. We have, like, an hour worth of show to do, folks. So please, feel free to drop questions and feedback wherever you'd like for us to go here. But in the roadmap, which is a little bit different, they're kind of breaking things into three phases. They hint at potentially being able to use these in, like, augmented reality and things like that. It's a different type of, like, 3D than we've seen yet, right? I can't think of any other. Maybe the chat could help out, but, like, I can't think of any other collections that have looked like this to date. Can you?
Yeah, it's got an original look to it, which is beautiful when you're looking at profile pictures nonstop for day after day after day. And now
I think we lost you again, Danny, a little bit. Audio. Yeah, mentioning just the difference in what this looks like, relatively speaking, compared to other collections. Danny's frozen. You back, Danny?
We back?
We're trying. Anyway, like, I scrolled down through. If you take a look at, like, the team here, you can see just other iterations, right, of Waheed's art and kind of the characterizations of different individuals from behind the scenes on the team here. One of the other things we spent a lot of time also talking about teams themselves, right? And, like, whether or not they're anonymous or not, and how teams that are willing to kind of put some skin in the game and stand behind the project and, like, actually let you link to them. Now, whether these go to individual Twitter profiles. So not everybody is fully doxed, right, as we would call it, but still, it's a little bit different than you can also see in other projects. So interesting enough, though, we're like 10 minutes in, so I want to go back. Now we're at, like, a stable point, hopefully, for Danny's internet connection, as well as where we're at, just having introduced the project. So I do want to reiterate that, yes, we are giving away 20 whitelist spots. Because you are here right now, I'm going to, in the next few minutes, be dropping the whitelist Google form in the chat. It's going to ask you for three things. It's going to ask you for your name. It's It's going to ask you for your email, right? That's so you can be contacted appropriately. And then you have the last note, which is just going to be your Ethereum address. That's your public key, right? Your public Ethereum address. Totally safe. That is just so that we can make sure that that gets to the Smilesss team and that you are appropriately whitelisted. Also, full disclaimer for the whitelist folks, you will be guaranteed a spot, but you will still need to, of course, pay for the, for the Smilesss NFT that you'll get, right? So it's not going to be a free Smilesss NFT for you, though it will guarantee you access to one. So if there are any questions about that, though, just a few minutes here as I kind of finagle and work through my couple screens. I'm going to get that Google form and I'm going to paste that in the chat so you guys can go through it. And then at the very end of the show, for those who are still listening in, at the very end of the show, we're going to get through the responses. There's going to be a cutoff at 9:20 p.m. So anything that comes through after 9:20 will not count. But anything pre 9:20, we're going to throw you in Wheel of Names. We're going to spin 20 times. We're going to get 20 people, and we're going to give them a whitelist spot. Does that sound good to you, Danny?
Sounds great. Am I still here?
You are still here. Yeah, I can hear you. It's really unfortunate because this is the first time, right, that we're giving something away. It's just unfortunate luck that Mother Nature would not cooperate effectively for us tonight and appropriately so that other folks could see the crystal clear Danny Miranda. Though I should say, you can go back, you can listen and watch other Lucky Trader Lounge episodes. You can tune in on next Thursday or this Thursday's, Lucky Trader Lounge episode. We'll have a guest on there as well to join us and talk a little bit about an upcoming NFT drop as well. And then you can, of course, listen to the Lucky Trader podcast, which Danny hosts in crystal clear audio. You can find that on all of your podcast streams, where you typically do. So without further ado, though, I'm going to drop this in the chat and then somebody let me know if this works appropriately. I'm going to do my best to put this in here in a way that is usable for everyone. So just 1 second here, guys. Anyway, Danny, thoughts, questions, issues about Smilesss?
I'm excited. I'm looking at the chat right now. People are excited. People are pumped. And
I know
it's exciting to see all this energy in the chat. I get off on the energy in the chat. So it's great to see all the familiar faces. Doug, Lou Dog, who obviously we spent some time with here. We appreciate you, KG, Kuntha. Like, we love all you. We're so appreciative for you guys, and hopefully you guys can still hear me.
Yep, and I've just dropped that in the chat, guys. Please do make sure to not lose that too quickly. I have it now copy pasted on my clipboard, and I can get back to it. If somebody trustworthy, Tony, perhaps I see in there, Lou as well, can just let me know and make sure that that's operating effectively, that would be super fantastic. But nevertheless, as we let people get into that, yeah, it works. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Tyler. Very appreciated. So again, I'm recording responses from now until 9:20 Eastern time. It is timestamped. Anything past 9:20, I'm not going to be accepting. But at 9:20, I will take those responses. We're going to put it on the wheel in the final 10 minutes. We're going to spin the wheel, and we're going to see who gets the whitelist spots.
How many are you predicting? How many entrants are you predicting we are going to be spinning? How many people do you think are going to enter?
Don't mention it anymore. Yes, I'll mention it a few more times because it's only fair, right? We're trying to be fair here. But anyway, how many people do you think will be spinning? How many people will be entered? I don't know. I'm gonna guess we're gonna at least 50, right? 50 entrants minimum. Let's see if we can get 100.
Sounds right to me.
I love the mic back and forth. But anyway, folks, I'm gonna paste this again. Folks are telling me that it is working appropriately. So that is a good sign for us. Let's, though, as this works and I keep watching, we do have a question. What part of the roadmap? Unfortunately, Danny cut out during the the roadmap thing. So let's go back to that on the screen, and we'll kind of get to your question here. I dropped the form in one more time. Sorry. Thanks for bearing with me here, folks. I'm going to get back. You can see this is kind of the form here. Name, email, Ethereum address. Please the full address, not the .eth, just safer and easier for everyone. 9:20 cutoff. We're going to spin the wheel at the very, very end here. But I'll get to, this is the wheel. It's blank right now, but we're going to get to it at the very, very end with all of your responses. Nevertheless, let's go back to Smiles. Let's take a look at this. So as I mentioned, it's happening. I think I said phases, but it's actually happening in what they're calling acts, similar to kind of like a Broadway show, right? Danny's a New Yorker. I'll be in New York next week for NFT NYC. We're all really excited for that. But they're doing this in 3 acts. So you kind of have your first act here. This would kind of be like your phase 1, right, for most roadmaps. So portion of sales are going to charity. There's unlockable content that's going to come with those NFTs. And then again, community building, weekly events, community music nights. Phase 2, exclusive Smiles merchandise designed by the artist Waheed Zai. Airdrops. I don't know if that means companions. Again, full disclaimer, I don't have any inside information here. I'm not sharing anything that you folks won't be able to access right here from the Smilesss website. And then collaborations with other artists in the Smilesssvrs. Is that a hint at a metaverse or this augmented reality that comes in Act 3? Augmented reality capabilities, additional characters to the Smilesssvrs, and then community-led initiatives. And then it indicates here, you help decide where we go from here. That's kind of an exciting thing. So from that, Danny, anything there like stand out to you that is most excited? That was the question that we had got.
Yeah, I mean, I'm most excited with all these projects about how the community does what they do, because really that is how every project will become to be known. And
oh no, we've lost him again. Yeah, some people are asking about. I'm gonna wait for Danny. I'm gonna go to the solo view. People are asking a little.
You guys can hear me.
Oh, here he comes back. Okay. We're doing it. We're doing it as best we can.
Sorry about
Go
this,
ahead.
guys. No, I was just saying that the community is what creates projects and what really how people take it, and how people like what I'm curious about in this is, will people have the license to use these in ways they want to? Do you know about that?
I don't. It's not indicated here, but the kind of the creative license, right, to be able to use things, we've seen build strong communities, like in the case of Cryptodes, right, with all the derivatives. But even in other cases where that's not like a thing that is exclusive to good communities. You know what I mean? It's just another outlet to potentially building community. I think something that is going to potentially like differentiate this is just truly like the art itself, and actually the story behind the art. Especially Danny, even more so than myself, perhaps, are like looking to bet on people, like looking to find stories and individuals who have bet on themselves and have kind of put skin in the game. And I think that's one of the really cool things about Waheed Zai, the artist behind Smilesss. If you just like take a look through some of the work that he's put out and some of the other like language and just words he's put behind these things. Again, this is kind of the broader collection of Waheed Zai on OpenSea, Waheed_Zai. You can take a look right at some of these works. You can get to his link tree, which is going to give you access to the OpenSea, the Smilesss Discord, which of course you can join. I'm sure some of the members here tonight are from that, and the Foundation, another NFT marketplace for art in particular. But if you like head over to like the Instagram as well, you'll get a little bit more of like the person of Waheed Zai. Of course, the All Smilesss Twitter is him as well. And I was like scrolling through these, and it's really wonky to do so on desktop. So I'm not going to like go through these individually. But I took a look at this particular image, like from January, he's showcasing like a screenshot from January of 2020. And basically like indicating, yeah, I do commission work as an artist starting at $20. And this is like not one individual tale. It is in the case of Waheed Zai, but this is stuff that we've seen like from a whole handful of folks in the NFT space about what NFTs have enabled. Like not only enabled global audience, right? So like millions of people to potentially access their art, but also like enabled them to capitalize and financialize their art and their culture in ways that weren't possible before, with things like creator royalties, for example, right? So now getting a portion of secondary sales. The other thing it's done, whether you believe it's a cultural renaissance or not, is it's given it's given some life, like financial life, to art as well, beyond just the top end traditional art. Do you have something you're going to add there, Danny?
No, I think that's a really good point, and it's so true that people can now make a living due to the royalties aspect of it, due to the trading component of it. And so it's just cool to see and grateful to be a part of it.
Yeah, so you can, again, all these places, we'll include this in the show notes at the very end as well, but you can follow All Smiles on Twitter. Some of the art was featured on Jimmy Fallon. How sweet is that? The link tree will go, of course, give you all access to all of that. You have the OpenSea profile to view a little bit more, get access to the Instagram. And then, but the key focus here is the actual Smilesss collection, again, releasing on 10/29. That is Friday. Double check. 0.1 Ethereum to gain access to one of the 8,888 collectibles that is dropping in this collection. We're giving away 20 whitelist spots. For those who are maybe joining late, there is a Google form. I'm going to relink it every, 5 or 10 minutes within the chat. We have until 9:20 p.m. Eastern time to fill out that form. As I pull in the responses from the form, which we have lots of responses at present time. But anyway, as I pull in the responses from this particular form, I'm going to throw them in a wheel, and we're going to spin the wheel at the very, very end of the show. So, okay. Any other? I see we have a lot of people pumping in the chat. Barry, sickest art I've ever seen. It is really, it's cool stuff. It's stuff that we have not really seen, like we were just talking about in the beginning of the show. Like, it's stuff that we haven't specifically seen as it relates particularly to 3D stuff. Like, again, we don't know exactly what you're going to be able to do with your Smilesss NFT. There's hints at like Smilesssvrs, right? Which is like metaverse like. There's hints at augmented reality as well, which would be really sweet. We don't know exactly what it's going to do, but it's much, much different than like Meebits, right? And no knock on Meebits, right? Really successful brand. I'm a Meebit holder, full disclosure. Successful brand in Larva Labs. You can view, and run through the Meebits. Like, they don't look like Smilesss collection NFTs. Not at all. Not at all.
How fast do you think these are going to sell out?
Well, based on the folks we have here, based on some of the other work that I've seen circling the rounds on Twitter, right? The Smilesssvrs, I think, and the Smilesss collection as a whole, like, engagement has been pretty strong. I would anticipate this sells out pretty quickly. It's a Friday mint. Friday, people are like not really probably paying attention at work, right? I think we got definitely Danny frozen at present time. So I'll move back to solo. But Friday, people are at work, probably not really working, and looking to mint stuff where possible. I mean, why not, right? And the other thing about this is, like, I think not only is the art really good and like very unique and like a refreshing set of uniqueness, where we're dealing with not just another copy paste, which for the duration of this bull run and most of the sort of, profile picture project things we've seen, they've been the same exact thing with just a slight variation, very, very slight variation. It's the cool cat, and then like the gutter dog, and then like puffy and pudgy and polar penguins, right? And all these different things, which are fine. You know what I mean? They're totally fine. But they're not quite this. And I think the uniqueness, Danny, your question, as you're cutting out just a little bit, but your question was, how fast does this sell out? I think unique stuff that looks good objectively. I know art is very, very subjective, but I mean, you can't tell me that objectively, like, it's pretty good art, right?
It is.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's probably sign that it's going to sell out pretty quickly. But I don't have any inside information about that. The nice thing, sells out very quickly. If you have a whitelist, right? If you're whitelisted, you don't really have to worry about it. You know, you're guaranteed at least one spot, 0.1.
Have we talked to Jerry Stotts about this? About whether he
Jerry
thinks it's
Saltz.
subjective, Jerry Saltz, if it's objectively good art?
We have not talked to Jerry Saltz. We have some Jerry Saltz, for those who don't know, is a topic of frequent conversation on this lounge. He is an art critic, like a traditional art critic. We want to get him on, and we want to talk a little bit about the art and the quality of the art and like what he would say. I'd be curious to hear what Gary Saltz says. I don't know if he has a specialty, if his specialty is like abstract or like impressionism or anything like that. I don't know if art critics, I'm sure they have specialties, right? Danny, if you were an NFT art critic, would your specialty be profile picture projects?
Definitely. Profile picture projects, and I know you probably hate the profile picture projects the most. Like that's the part that you're like least excited about, but I'm most excited about that part because I see the way identity is changing, and it's exciting to me. But is that correct, that that's the least exciting part for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably the least exciting part. I mean, there's nothing really super great about it, right?
Well, what's great about it is that people are changing their identity in front of your eyes, and they're building businesses that are going to change society in front of your eyes. So that's what I think is cool about it, and that's what excites me about it.
Yeah. Okay, Danny, it's 8:57. You've been rugged a couple times, and I know the people are here for the Smiles collection, but it is the Lucky Trader Lounge, and so I do need to shill Lucky Trader a little bit, especially for those folks. Especially for those folks who maybe don't know too much about Lucky Trader. So I'm going to pull up Lucky Trader. And unfortunately, while the Smiles collection is not actively out, we can't get through like the rarities or take a look at the asset explorer on luckytrader.com. But what we can do is take a look at some of the other really cool features. Just so folks who are maybe here for the first time might want to check out the site and take it for a spin of their own in the very, very near future. So I want to like bring up the Cool Cats Asset Explorer. We're talking about cool art. Bring up the Cool Cats Asset Explorer and really actually walk through some of the feature additions that we just added today. Just to kill some time, again, we are bringing in Google form responses until 9:20 Eastern. I know some folks said, hey, why don't you spin like every 15 minutes? Totally get that, folks. You do not need to be present at the time of spin. If you filled it out, you're free to go to bed, put your children to bed. That is totally okay. And I apologize. I'm not going to change the rules now just to appease, a few folks. We got to keep it fair for everybody. So being transparent. Wish I would have done maybe a little bit differently. We will fine tune our giveaway process. I'm sure we will. We will be giving away more stuff.
This won't be the first one or the last. Yeah. This won't be the last one, rather.
Yeah, Danny, you got super clear, by the way.
So let's go, baby.
It looks good right now. How will we know if we won the whitelist? You guys are going to be notified by us, firstly. That's why you're dropping your email there. And secondly, you will, I'm guessing the Smiles team will notify you as well, but your address, that Ethereum address that you're dropping in there, that is that address that's going to get whitelisted for that private sale for that. Right. So, okay. Anyway, I have to pull up Lucky Trader now because I was talking about this.
Let's go.
LuckyTrader.com, folks. For those who are not aware, you can head there and it's going to have all of the necessary tools and resources available for you if you're building an NFT collection, asset explorers, check out rarities, and a whole host of other, track the market in real time with our rankings page, schedule for upcoming drops, prepare yourself, right? Both your calendar and your wallets for upcoming drops. But one of the really, really cool things we added just today for those who maybe are joining us and haven't been around to see the news, we just added this feature called bid mode. Bid mode works really similar to our Lucky Trader OpenSea power tool extension. You can toggle that on. You can connect your wallet in the top right corner, toggle that on. And then actually the really awesome thing about this, Danny, is we can now bid on assets directly on the page.
So sick.
It's pretty sweet. So you can use this like attribute explorer, right? You can use the filters on OpenSea. That's fine. I don't think the experience is near as clean or as pure as what we've built at Lucky Trader, right? And it's already ranked by rarity as well. And you can, just add in all of the features and filters or ranges that you need to that fit your desired attributes or traits. Like I really like the cool cats, by the way. I do not own a cool cat. I watched for a long time the price go up without buying. But I really like the cool cats with the cupcake head. Danny, we've got a fitness bet going on. I need to get more steps in right after this show. But I'm a sucker for cupcakes. Like I was eyeing these cupcake heads for hats, whatever you want to call them, for a long, long time. With bid mode though now, check us out. I've got bid mode enabled. I can like select these 6 cats with a cupcake head and I can bid on them in a few clicks. Now, in this wallet in particular, I actually don't have any wrapped Ethereum, so I could only bid 0. I actually don't even think it'll let me bid 0. So I can't bid on these right now. But if you have a wrapped Ether balance, if you're actively making bids, you can come in, add whatever bid price you'd like to. Again, you'll get a note if you're trying to bid something you don't have. You can't do that. Set that price. If I wanted to bid 10 ETH, right? You could set that across all of them. Set your date of expiration for those bids. And then, of course, you're just going to hit submit and you'll sign a transaction in your MetaMask and you're off and your bid is active and it's out the door and it can be accepted by the other party. And you could potentially have a cupcake head. Cool cat.
Are we trying to take OpenSea out of business?
No, definitely not. No, we want to be amicable with OpenSea, of course. And the great thing is like, OpenSea enables all this, right? So we definitely don't want to take OpenSea out of business. They enable all this. We want to be partners with OpenSea in some way in many, many capacities. What happens? Actually, this is a good point. I'm glad you brought this up, Danny. This is a good point, though. Please put them out of business. Good point, though. Good point about security, because we got this question. I answered actually on the stream with Preston Johnson, the Lucky Trader NFT stream.
Zeneca was tweeting about this.
Yeah, Zeneca tweeted about this. There's been we've gotten great feedback about like the OpenSea extension, right? For and these are really good concerns to have. So in no way do we take it personally if you're like questioning like, well, why would I trust you? Like, how is this secure? We're working on some written content. I'm actually working with the developer of the OpenSea extension, Chan Zero. You can find him on Twitter. He is publicly announced that he's the developer, right? So everything's out in the open. We're trying to be as transparent as possible about this. But anyway, I'm actually working with Chan Zero to build some written content to reassure folks about what exactly is happening. But I'll also try to explain it for anyone who's using the OpenSea extension. Let me bring this up so folks can see that as well. But if you're using the OpenSea extension or you're using bid mode on Lucky Trader, they operate similarly. All that's happening there is actually we are building just a different user interface, UI, commonly referred to as UI, basically on top of OpenSea's API. So we're using OpenSea kind of like in the background and just giving you like a slightly different view to experience, right? So if you take a look at OpenSea and you have the extension enabled, you'll notice that you get these little rarities embedded automatically in the bottom left corner of the page. That's there for every supported asset collection that we have an NFT asset explorer for on Lucky Trader. So anyway, though, you scroll through, and if you want to make bids, of course, you can do mass bidding with the OpenSea extension. Mass bid, right? Works very similarly to the bid mode on luckytrader.com. You can also mass list with the OpenSea extension as well, but they work in the same way, in a similar manner, where we are just kind of piggybacking on top of that, and you're signing transactions in your MetaMask just like you would on the site, right? On OpenSea in particular. So nothing nefarious or malicious or weird is happening in the background. We're just kind of presenting a different user interface for you to be able to operate and make those things happen. The last thing I'll say about this in particular is that, oh man, what was I going to say about it in particular? No, I'm struggling. I'm trying to keep a track of the chat as well. We're still learning how to do this, Danny. Normally the chat doesn't move this fast. Anyway, I think the last thing I was going to say about the extension as a whole is like, this is also like minimum viable product. I know that we've mentioned that a couple times. The features that are out there right now are a little unique.
It's in beta.
It is in beta. It's in beta, but it's like totally minimum viable product. So there are going to be a whole handful of things that are going to come, in the future on top of this. We got a good question here. If you bid on a bunch at once, you can never carry a negative ETH balance, correct? Yeah, that's correct. So what happens is you're actually bidding with wrapped Ethereum, which is slightly different. You can learn a little bit more about that. It's actually in the extension. You can learn a little bit more about that as well. And when you bid with wrapped Ethereum, essentially what happens is like, you're not actually sending ETH anywhere, right? You're kind of like pseudo raising your hand to say, hey, I would give you this for that thing. And then it only actually transfers if it's accepted, right? Actually, in the instance of bidding, an accepted bid, the acceptor pays the gas. Just a little pro tip. Anyway, so you can bid, Andrew, you could bid 0.1 across 5 different things, even if you only have 0.1. The only way that what will happen is like, let's say one of them gets accepted, you will win that NFT you've bid on, and then the rest of them basically expire or get nullified, right? Like the person couldn't accept it. Sometimes with OpenSea's, like user interface, you may see expired bids or bids that are no longer active because someone's out of ETH, but like they can't be accepted, right? So like if you don't have you can't carry a negative Ether balance, you're not going to be like responsible for paying back Ether or something like that.
Have
Go ahead,
you
Danny.
had any accepted bids yet using the app?
Oh my gosh, man.
Using the
I was
extension?
just talking about this on Preston's show as well. No, unfortunately, I'm still like trying to learn my bid strategy. I was also waiting for bid mode to go live. The extension's only been live. We like just publicly announced it last week. So it's very, very new as well, which is an exciting thing because as I mentioned, like the minimum viable product, right? Going to be a lot of cool stuff that comes to that. I have not yet, Danny, but I think I'm going to start using it a whole lot more in the very, very near future because we have these capabilities now, right? We didn't have them even a week ago. So I'm really excited to put them into place. We had a question about links. So I'm going to bring up my screen here again. You can actually like head to the Google Chrome web store. I don't want to drop this link in there just because it might act a little funny for everyone. But if you go to the Google Chrome web store and you just search Lucky Trader, you'll kind of see it here with the Lucky Trader logo. You can go ahead and open it up. Just add it to your browser extension, just like you do with really anything else.
Wait, it has 1,000+ downloads now?
Yeah, man, we got 1,000+ downloads.
Last time I looked at it, it was like 100 something.
Yeah, well, you looked at it a long time ago, it seems, right?
It was only like 2 or 3 days ago.
Yeah, it's pretty new. We're getting more and more feedback. We're getting more and more press as well about it. Like the other thing about Lucky Trader, right, is as maybe folks can tell, like we're building like actively. You know what I mean? There are Danny and I are part of the content team here. Thank you, folks, for showing up here tonight. We're approaching giveaway spin the wheel time for those who have anxiously awaited that. But anyway, like we're actively building an audience, we're building a brand, right? Like we're trying to create things that people want to consume. So it doesn't surprise me that we've slowly started to pick up users, but I think once folks like realize how slick that thing is, it's going to speak for itself. And we're really fortunate, Danny, to work with like very, very smart, very strong developers and product people at Lucky Trader. And I definitely think that like the tools in the near future are going to blow people away. I think it's going to speak for itself. And like my hope, right, is that in the very, very near future, Lucky Trader is like it's bookmarked for everyone, right? You're using the Asset Explorer, you're using bid mode, you're reading the content, you're downloading the Lucky Trader podcast, of course, accessible in all the places that you listen to your podcast. Danny, let's shout out some of these names. We have new people here for the first time. Let's shout out some of these names that you've had on the podcast.
The first couple of podcasts are getting a lot of love. I get messages about them every day now. But first episode was you. Second episode was Tom Bilyeu. Third was Jack Butcher. We had JJ Lane on, and we had Zeneca. So fabulous people, incredible builders in the space who are all doing things. And it's an exciting group of people to interview, to talk to. I'm definitely not your level of expertise, but I'm also not a complete novice in the NFT space. So I'm somewhere in the middle, and I'm taking people along that journey. So,
Yeah.
Doug, I appreciate you.
Yeah. Tom was all time. Tom was, I think, I mentioned this when Tom was on your individual podcast. We should, of course, shout that out as well. Danny has the Danny Miranda podcast. You can find that in all the places that you listen to podcasts as well. Talks to top performers and, and just some of the world's sharpest folks on your own individual podcast, hopefully coming, of course, to the Lucky Trader podcast as well, should they be relevant. But anyway, all that to say, like, Tom Bilyeu, just tons of energy, right? If you didn't listen to that podcast and at least consider, minting the impact theory NFTs, I'm not sure how, right? Cause that's a guy who's betting, he's got the Gary V energy,
Yeah.
in a slightly different way, right? But Gary V energy about his own project and stuff. So yeah, download those podcasts, folks. We also have let's tease. We have Andy from Fractional, Andy8052 on Twitter. Really notable name from Club Top Shot, from the the NFT ecosystem at large, a fantastic developer and just pushing the industry forward in many, many ways. If you guys don't know about fractional.art, basically democratizing the ability for folks to access blue chip NFTs. I'm actually working on a piece right now called You Can Own a Punk. You can own a punk. Yes, Danny, you can own a punk because you don't need to buy the whole punk, right? You can use something like Fractional to be able to access portions, right? Fractional portions of punks, and then you're still tied into the performance of punks or whatever, right? Fidenzas, you can go to Fractional. We'll spend an entire shows plural, on Fractional. But anyway, you can access whatever makes sense for you in terms of your financial situation. And still, go ahead.
Yeah, I think when I talked to Andy, I got a real sense of how significant what he's doing is, because NFTs are something that are going to be in everyone's hands, and he is democratizing NFTs to a level that anyone can now access these. So it's just an incredible thing. And when I spoke to him, I realized how incredible the mission he was working on, how it really impactful it is going to be. And it just got me excited. Like, damn, I got to talk to this dude, and I got to see him build his mission before it even became a thing. Maybe we'll play this clip in 10 years when Fractional's a company that everyone knows, is what I believe. But I just felt a sense of real gratitude for getting to speak to him.
Yeah.
Got a question here. How is Lucky Trader priced?
Yep. I want to make sure we didn't miss it. That's why I pinned it here. How is Lucky Trader priced? Subscription/free. For those who don't know, everything on Lucky Trader completely free to use right now. That's the content. That's the Lucky Trader podcast. That's the extension. That's bid mode, the asset explorers, the rarity rankings, which are near instantaneous upon reveal. We don't ask for anyone to pay to put their rarity rankings up, right? We're not selecting projects based on, Smiles was generous enough to allow us to give away some whitelist spots, but we're not just putting Smiles on the site because of that, right? Or anything like that. It's just completely objective based on data. We have some criteria that goes into that. Your project gets put up if it's being bought and all that stuff, right? It's on the site for everyone to be able to access. If there's demand for it, it's going to be there. And it's all objective. So great question, Architect. Totally free. And the other thing I'll say about this, we have a lot of new people for the first time. Want to shout those out a million times here. Thank you so much for showing up and listening to Danny and I ramble on about NFTs and about the giveaway and stuff. But NFTs are great. Lucky Trader is free to use. What was the thing I was going to say? I don't know.
You're getting overwhelmed by the chat.
I'm getting overwhelmed by the chat.
You're normally just fully locked in, focused. And today you got a little chat action, and you're getting You're getting
Whoops.
very, you're getting overwhelmed. It's okay. It happens.
Yeah, we're dealing with, guys. This is Lucky Trader Lounge 5. I'm gonna get better at the broadcasting thing, at like
So
doing the
Ryan
show.
Hodge, we got to pin his comment here. When can I buy some Lucky Trader option/stock? This is like when is Lucky Trader going to come out with their own NFT, right? Because that would make sense from a Web3 perspective if we're going in that direction. But it's like option/stock. You mean like how could you buy an NFT? It's I don't know anything about it, but it makes a lot of sense to me, Ryan.
Yeah, I don't think I can really say too much here, for a variety of reasons. Though I would say
Logie's mouth is sealed.
And I know Ryan well, or pseudo well, through Twitter experiences for a very long time from the daily fantasy world. Thank you for showing up. All I can say is that, like, there are going to be, I do believe, and this is not coming from anything that I have legitimate, like, notable information on, but I do believe there are going to be ways to kind of create a vested interest between yourselves as collectors and Lucky Trader. Right. And that's sort of how we're anticipating, like, building things for you as well. Is like, we want to build things that are going to build successful collectors. And if we can build things that make you successful, it should in turn make us successful. Right. Like, so hopefully a very, very, mutually beneficial symbiotic relationship on both sides. I want to get to something here, though, because we're quickly approaching that 9:20 deadline and people want to see the spin. That's what they're here for. They're not here for you or me. They want to see the spin. Anyway, there are a couple other questions that I think are really notable. Can you load your portfolio in Lucky Trader? We just added today the ability to connect your wallet in the top right corner. At present time, and I'm going to show it on the screen because we're going to show it on the screen. I'm not showing it on the screen right now, am I? I'm going to show it on the screen. At present time, you can connect your wallet. You can see I'm connected here. And you could take a look at your portfolio insofar as, like, if you load up a collection that you have something from, you can then use this My Wallet filter. And you're going to be able to, like, quickly see, like, look at this Meebit. He's terrible. Not rare at all, right? That's a way that you can use your wallet at present time on Lucky Trader. What I want this to just show you is that, like, this is a precursor and, like, an infrastructure thing that is going to allow us to do a lot of things in the future, right? Connect your wallet, make sure it works appropriately, filter appropriately. We're in beta, folks. See the little beta tag? No Top Shot jokes, but we're in beta. Nevertheless,
how long do we get the beta tag?
We can use it for as long as we want. There are no rules. There are no rules about how
2
long.
years later.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know, but anyway, nevertheless, like, we're setting the foundation to have all those things. The question was, do you have your NFT portfolio on there? Creating the foundation for it. We want to do it in a way that's effective. We want to do it in a way that's appropriate. We want to do it in a way that is useful as well, not just like everyone else. We're gonna have some things that are kind of prerequisites, like rarity rankings. Right? A lot of people have rarity rankings. We're doing them a little bit differently. We're doing them a little bit faster. Hopefully the experience is better. But it's kind of just a prerequisite, right? It's something that's expected and that we need to be able to accommodate for. So we'll have some of that. We're hoping to differentiate, and I think in a lot of other ways. And that's where, like, bid mode and the extension come in, right? A couple other questions. Let me see here before we get into this, because my heart's starting to pump just a little bit, Danny, to make sure I get this wheel.
We are almost 1 minute away.
Yeah, here's what I'll say, folks. I'm going to lock entries at 9:20, right? So you could submit post 9:20, but I have a timestamp, so I'm not going to count it. And I'm sure there's a way to lock it, but maybe I just don't actually know how. But I will be looking at the timestamp, I promise you. Nevertheless, we're going to do the wheel. It might take me longer than the 10 minutes just because I'm a total noob. I've never used the wheel before. I did a couple practice rounds before the show, but it might take us a little longer than 10 minutes. So, like, I can't guarantee all the winners will be selected by 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, but we're going to be on here. We're going to be doing it. And I can promise you that we will get the 20 selected by the end of this stream. So it could be 9:30, it could be 9:45. I don't know, but I'm going to lock the entries. You have 1 minute to enter if you have not already done so. I did see a question. I want to address this because it's only fair. I did see a question earlier about how we could ensure that you only put in one entry. Unfortunately, I can't ensure it, right? You could use a different email. You can use a different address. I can't ensure it. I'm sorry, folks. I hope right? That everybody kind of kept this to just
Scout's
one
honor.
Scout's honor. But just full transparency, I cannot promise that everyone entered just one time. So unfortunately, again, first time giving away something here, right? I'm happy to take your feedback on Lucky Trader, on the Lucky Trader extension, on bid mode. I'm also happy to take your feedback about giveaways in the future. You know what? I've seen this frustration. It's 9:20. This is kind of happening, but I've seen this frustration in like actual art giveaways. So like there are artists like Pop Wonder and Alpha Centauri Kid, ACK, like great artists who are trying to do things like whitelists and private sales for collectors, right? In like a way that's fair, right? Because if you just list it for the highest price, a lot of people can't participate, or you know, whatever. And unfortunately, like you've seen a lot of them kind of be burned or scorned by the dissatisfaction of participants. And I have thick skin, so it's okay. You got like it's okay. I apologize. We're gonna make it better. I promise. But it's okay if you're a little frustrated with how the giveaway goes. Totally get it. I'm more so saddened by like, don't get mad at the artists, right? Who are trying to like help you. You can get mad at me because I'm just a guy, but don't get mad at the artists who are trying to like give you access to their NFTs. Alpha Centauri Kid, another art. Like, okay, it's 9:20. Yeah, we're gonna get to it. Form is locked, but let me pull up Alpha Centauri Kid. We were talking about Smiles. We're gonna pull up Smiles again too, because that's what we're giving away. We always talk about art on here, Danny, just at least for a portion of time. It's a necessary evil on this show, is that we talk a little bit about art, not just collectibles. Let me find, it might just be under ACK. Is it under ACK editions? Some of these are really unique.
I've seen this.
Yeah. He's a great Twitter follow as well. You should find him. This is what I wanted to bring up. He just did this Island Boys thing, which is like the most ridiculous thing. And it reminded me, the other reason, I'm going to segue here. I promise it's okay. The other reason it reminds me of like Smilesss and Waheed Zai, who were about to give the whitelist for his projects, the Smilesss collection, is the cultural relevance. Like ACK is on top of it. You know how like Beeple is on top of it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like all of his everydays. Yep. All of his everydays are like culturally relevant. ACK, same thing. And I got that feeling from Waheed Zai's work as well. Is it like I don't necessarily know what these things are relevant to. There's one piece. This is Kanye, right? That's Ye. That's Kanye for sure.
Yay.
Ye, is that right? Yay? Yay? Is this okay? It's not on here. There's one other piece that he was like is pretty notable from Waheed, about like some other meme, and let me try to find it. I'm not gonna find it. I blew it. Anyway, there's one other meme that it just struck me, like the cultural relevance thing and the significance of like being able to like connect to the culture as well and like produce art like that. Like that just adds a ton of memetic value and lets you resonate with like what's happening now and beyond. We got some questions. When giveaway? It's happening. Danny, I need you to like take the mic for a second and
yes, sir,
and carry me just for a little bit here as I get the giveaway set up. So you tell me.
I want to go through the people in the chat, and I want everyone in the chat to write their favorite NFT collection that they own right now. Everyone just spam the chat with your favorite NFT collection. And I'm going to go through a bunch of these, and
I got one tiny like potential concern. Can you hear me still, Danny?
Yeah.
Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here.
Does Wheel of Names have a character limit? Because we might need to do some finagling if that's the case. We got a lot of entries, which is a good thing.
How many entries total we got?
I don't want to say it out loud.
Why? What's going to happen if you say it out
loud? We got over 500 entries.
What?
Which is good, but it's like breaking my clipboard. So I'm trying here.
Good Lord.
So I need you to just, we're going to keep
go
chatting for a second here.
Yeah, you do your thing, Logie.
Okay, wait, I got him on the board.
You got them all?
Yeah. Second here, folks.
We appreciate you
folks.
all coming in,
Got him on the
guys.
board.
We're looking at.
Oh,
I
did I
love looking at
actually?
these.
I
Logan, you got some?
accidentally pasted it. Yeah, I think I accidentally pasted it twice. So everybody might have 2 entries.
Okay.
Let me make sure I pasted this twice. I'm gonna do a little Control F. I definitely want it to be fair. I'm gonna bring it on the screen too. So I'm gonna full transparency, right? Full transparency. Oh gosh, how do I get rid of Lou's comment now? Sorry, Lou. Not that I want to get rid of it, but I don't know how to find it to take it off the screen because I want more screen space. We're total noobs, Danny.
You have
You
to go
asked for
back to Lou's comment up.
you
You have to
asked for
scroll.
people. Yeah, here we go. You asked for people to put it in the chat, and I couldn't. Yeah, I know. There's some people hopping in and say, "Hey, there's only 94 on stream." Apologize, guys. You could enter at any point in time from when the time was dropped up until now. You don't need to be
Right.
present.
So that
at
does make
present time.
sense.
Yep.
Because people could also be watching on Twitter.
We're
So
actually
would
not
that
on.
be a different-
We're not on
We're
Twitter
not on
tonight.
Twitter tonight?
No, we're not on Twitter tonight. But the other thing about this too, just full disclaimer, right? Everybody can be upset with me on this. There was no way for me to potentially keep people from entering multiple times should they have used multiple personas or multiple emails or multiple Ethereum addresses. So be mad at me. We will figure it out. This is the first giveaway.
We're going to do this again, folks.
We'll do it again
100%.
and we'll do it better. And honestly, if you do feel for whatever reason, if you do feel dissatisfied with the experience tonight, you don't like how we did it, and you have a better idea, let me know. And we will look to incorporate it in a way that is more agreeable for everyone in the near future. So anyway, I have these. I'm going to redo this and paste this in because we didn't have quite 500. I rounded up. 500 sounds cool, doesn't it?
We had 403.
We had just under 500. I'm gonna add it in here. In a way, it's taking a second, and then we're gonna go. So I cut off at 9:20, and I did cut off because there were some post 9:20. Here we go. I'm gonna bring it up on screen, Danny. Oh boy,
Let's go.
462 entries.
Oh wait, it goes by name too. You got it. So
it's just by name. So
Wow.
I've copy and pasted your name column here, right? So anybody that dropped a name, copy and pasted it in here. 462 entries. I'm going to spin it 20 times. We're going to jot down the names. Folks also had to include an Ethereum address, right? And folks also had to include a way for us to potentially contact us or the Smiles team to potentially contact you. So that's what was included. Everybody is now pasted. I'm going to do this to the best of my ability here, Danny.
Yep.
And I'm going to spin this wheel 20 times. Can you monitor chat and let me know how badly I'm doing?
No, you're doing great. Confidence is key.
Well, I'm trying. We're doing this as fair as we possibly can, right?
Yeah.
So here we're going to go, folks. 20 whitelist spots. We're going to spin it 20 times. The person, if you're selected, you're going to get removed. So you can't win again unless you've used an alter ego. Only acceptable alter egos from now on is if we get Snoop and Cosmo Medici. Snoop is entitled to 2 entries, and Ferocious is entitled to 10 entries every giveaway if he wants it. He's got to be present on the stream, though. That's how we get him. That's how we get Ferocious. Anyway, I'm going to spin this 20 times. I'm going to fit 20 people. 20 people are going to get a whitelist spot to the Smiles collection drop on Friday. Let me go back to Smiles really quick. 8,888 generative full body 3D characters from artist Waheed Zai. Price 0.1 Ethereum. You will need to pay the 0.1 ETH, but this whitelist spot will guarantee you one of those things. All right. So I just click to spin anywhere. Spin one. I've seen, so Lou in the chat, Lou helped me, told me about Wheel of Names. I've seen Peter Overzet use this a handful of times. Evan White.
Evan White, congratulations. Do you know who that is?
I don't know Evan White. I told people that knew me not even to enter. They ain't winning. We're removing Evan White. And if we have the person in the chat, can you let me know? We're spinning again.
Yeah, Evan White, speak now if you are here. I hope someone here wins.
I know, me too. I'm really hoping.
Evan White,
Jeff?
I see him. Good stuff. Jeff.
Okay, we got a single name, Jeff. should ask for double names. I hope there's not more than one Jeff.
Well, we'll note that for next time.
I know.
Good job,
All
Jeff.
right, I'm starring Jeff. My lights are flickering. I'm a little concerned. We're gonna speed this up. All right, that's 2.
Well, let's get it then.
That's 2.
We're 2 out of 10. 2 out of 20, rather.
2 out of 20. 2 out of 20. K Prince. Oh man, the lights are flickering bad, Danny.
The lights are flickering and the nor'easter is coming.
Gosh. We are spinning quickly. Okay, here we go. Number 4. Amory.
Amory, congratulations. You have won a whitelist spot.
By the way, contingency plan, I do have, I will get all of the additional entries. We'll hop back on if and when my power comes back and just redo it. That's just to let people know. Austin Lee, number 5.
Congratulations.
I love
Austin Lee.
Can you hear the clapping and like woo that comes from Wheel of Names or no?
No, I can't hear
It's great. Okay, here we go. Number 6. Connie.
Connie. Or Coney.
Coney.
I don't know.
All right, moving quick, folks. Sorry, I'm not taking any chances with the storm.
We got to move quick. Speed wins, baby.
Number 7, Cameron Saletti.
Cameron
Saletti.
You have won. Come on down.
Cameron said something on Twitter this morning. Good thing we got a knowable face or Twitter persona at least.
Love to see that. Cameron's in the chat too. Congratulations, Cameron.
Zhang Zhao.
Zhang, congratulations. You have won your whitelist spot.
That's 8. The lights stopped flickering. I think we're good. We're at 9. Are people in the chat happy or mad, Danny?
Everyone's happy, bro. Everyone's so excited. Everyone is saying, wow, Logan's the best. Logie's
Sean
the best.
O'Connor.
We love Logie so much. Sean O'Connor, congratulations.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this is 10. We're about halfway there, folks. This is going really quick, actually. This is good.
We're moving.
This
we're
is
moving
good.
And we're grooving. Evan White says Logie is crushing it. That's an
Thank you, Evan. Thank you.
Well,
Ottawa 98, number 10.
he was the first winner, so
Evan. Yeah, Evan, you won. You were first. I don't know if he got to see it. Hopefully he was.
Ottawa 98.
Yep.
Congratulations.
11, number 11. Dustin Dassow.
Double D's.
Oh, Danny, you know what I meant to say earlier? I'm gonna remove Dustin. I'm gonna pause for 1 second here because I need to answer a question that did hit the chat earlier because it speaks to, for those who are still on, it speaks to my background and validity for hosting. Somebody asked if I could do a kick flip. I think they were referencing
what is that about?
Well, you know, the smiles. I'm not gonna move away from the wheel screen, but you know the smile just because total transparency, right?
Yeah.
The smiles page. The character that's shown as kind of the showcase is on the skateboard.
Right. I was cutting out during that time. But
yeah. I can't do a kickflip. I grew up on a dirt road, folks. You couldn't skateboard there. You can't skateboard on a dirt road, but I have done like the one wheel. I rode like a one wheel, like the skateboard / like electric thing. It's really dope. You could do that on a dirt road. You cannot skateboard on a dirt road.
So this is what you needed to address for the intermission of
because
can Logie do a kickflip? This was on your mind the entire time?
Because we have people here that are like, Danny, right now they're making decision as to whether or not they'll ever come back. And if me not answering, Albert Duncan, congratulations. If me not answering whether or not I could do a kickflip, like if I said yes and that would bring them back, then I should have said yes. But
no,
I just want to
be real to yourself. Be real to yourself. Yeah. Albert, congratulations.
We're totally truthful here, by the way. That's why we're doing this. Faye, congratulations, 13. That's why we're doing this on screen is so that everyone can see it.
I love how we're doing this.
Yeah, totally transparent, right? Maybe not the best, but we're doing it in a way that is fair and is transparent. So you can yell at me as much as you want. 14. Chase Whitlow.
Chase, congratulations. You have won a whitelist spot.
I'm really glad your connection got better. I'm glad. I'm happy about that. I'm glad you were here.
Me too, man. This is beautiful. Our first ever giveaway for a whitelist.
Sam.
One name Sam. Kuntha, thank you for saying you guys are doing great. You're gonna sub and we'll continue to watch. We appreciate that so much.
Appreciate it. 16. Mark Neal.
Mark Neal, 2 first names. Love to see that.
We've got 4. We've got 4 left. And before we get to the last 4 here, I do just want to say, Dan, you got a better connection. We lost you a little bit. Do you want to stay on till 10 Eastern?
I can go all night, baby.
Yeah, we'll stay on till at least 10 Eastern just to like do some general banter as well. If folks want to stick around, ask questions. I apologize that the chat and everything, it did get away from me a little bit tonight.
It's all good. This was your first one with a bunch of new comments, new people, new faces. We love to see everyone. And so it's great to see everyone, and we're working.
Here we go.
Hex Cootie 0795. Oh, that must be a
Discord name, huh? Okay, we got it. Awesome. All right, 18. We got 3 left.
3 left. Final 3 right here. Will you make it?
Look how obnoxious the wheel looks with so many entries. Smoke
8094. Yeah, there's so many entries. It's crazy. It makes
good. I know.
We love to see it, and we're very grateful for it.
I am grateful for it. And I do, I take people pretty trustworthy. So I imagine most all of these, Brian Yonker.
Brian Yonker 9, congratulations. You have won.
So I think for the most part, like, people are probably pretty trustworthy, just added 1 entry, but of course we know.
Is this the last one?
Yeah, this is 20. This is it. Heike,
congratulations. You are the final whitelist.
Okay,
winner.
I'm gonna read through them really quick, and I'm gonna pull them up on this result tab here too, just so folks are aware in case they tune in a little late and they might have missed their name called. So we got 20 winners, 20 whitelist spots given out. That is going to guarantee you access to the Smiles drop on 10/29. You will still need to pay 0.1 Ethereum, but you are guaranteed 1 Smilesss NFT. Evan White, Jeff, K Prince, Amory, Austin Lee, Connie, Cameron Saletti, Zhang Zhao, Sean O'Connor, Ottawa 98, Dustin Dassow, Albert Duncan, Faye, Chase Whitlow, Sam, Mark Neal, Hexacuti, Smoke, Brian Yonker, and Heike. Congratulations, folks, all 20 of you. Any issues, concerns, of course, please let us know how we can do that a little bit better in the future. We do have I got a question here. Can you email the winners? Yes. That is part of the reason.
Post it on Twitter as well, or no?
We'll think about a way to do so appropriately. Yeah. So okay. I didn't ask for Twitter names. The other thing, I want to respect people's privacy and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm not gonna whatever. I'm not gonna share everything with people. Again, trying to think about this in a way that makes sense and is fair for folks. I know we're gonna lose a whole host of individuals right now, but thank you to everyone who did tune in, did come on. Greatly appreciated. We had a lot of fun tonight thus far. We're gonna stick on for a little bit while longer if folks want to hang around as well. And we're gonna talk about NFTs a little bit. For the next 22 minutes or so.
Can't wait to have everyone here. We're appreciative for everyone who came in and joined. It's great to have this amount of attendance. We love doing this. We do this even if nobody watched, but we appreciate all of you for coming in, and hope you come back or stick around. And let's get into the NFT banter, my guy.
Yeah, let's get into the NFT. So again, thanks everybody for sticking around. And if you want to hang around, please ask questions, drop them in the chat. You can email your feedback to Logan@luckytrader.com. Find me on Twitter @LH09. Danny @Danny Miranda. Of course, listen to all the Lucky Trader podcasts and Danny's podcast as well. Did I bring up my screen? I didn't bring up the screen yet. Let me bring up the screen. I want to go back to Lucky Trader. I'm going to X out of the wheel. I've got everything here. So I'm Xing out of the wheel.
Wait. Okay. Yeah, we have it down there. So
I got it. I got it in 2 or 3 spots now. Am my screen up? My screen's up. Yep. So we're good. So thank you everybody again for entering and your kind words tonight and sticking around here. I want to go back to Lucky Trader because there are a couple other things that we didn't get to that we actually just announced today. One of them being the price floor charts that are now listed on the overview pages at luckytrader.com. So if you head to a collection and you go to the overview tab, which is a little bit different from the asset explorer and the traits transactions, you're now actually going to get this little price chart as well. Just access for you to be able to tell what does the historical price action look like for a particular collection. You can hover over a day and kind of see, right? There's nothing revolutionary about this chart, but this type of data being accessible in one location, right, in a way that you can expect it consistently to be there is good to have. And so we just added this in earlier today. It's now accessible for any page that we have an overview page for. So you can access those again. Use the NFT drop down. You can scroll. You can search. Danny, is there a project you want to see floor price movement for?
Yeah, I'm down to check out Humanoid since it's
You're a
just right
humanoids
there.
holder, right?
Yes, I am. It's been going down, down, down.
Oh, oh.
But I'm down to check it out because I never had this actual visualization of my bags going down and down and down.
Yeah. You know what? So, Danny, rest assured, my friend, this is not the only chart that looks like this.
They all do.
Of course.
Like,
Yeah,
for the most part,
in
over
some degree, right? They all do, of course.
for the past 2 weeks too, particularly.
Yep. Yep, exactly. The other thing here that I want to point out about this particular chart is like as of right now, this chart has a ton of value as it is, right? As it stands alone, it has a ton of value to just be able to see like what is this collection done, right? Like if you're considering buying or you're like you just want to know was this a pump and dump, right? And like I'm not calling humanoids a pump and dump. Very respectable people own humanoids. I don't know the project creators or anything, but like Packy McCormick is rocking a humanoid. Like,
is he still?
Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry. Just he was. You know what I mean? Jack Butcher rocking a humanoid. Like, you get some respectable people rocking humanoids. I don't think they were pumping and dumping this project. I trust those dudes. So anyway, like the historical data and information is going to provide value in one way or another, right? Even if just to say like, oh man, like look at the steady decline here. Why might that be the case? The other thing though that I think is going to come, this is kind of a teaser, and I don't even know that I should say this because I don't want to hold our development team to doing this. But one of the things that I think is going to come here, or at least that I would like to see come, is the ability to kind of pin particular dates in this thing. So, what we're doing, let me go to a different one, Danny. Bored Ape Yacht Club, for example. What we're doing in the overview pages on luckytrader.com is, we're giving you some insight into what the project is. And we're doing a little bit more than just like the prototypical, this is a 10,000 collection profile picture project. Like we have that information for you. You can see it in the project information, right? Right here, right below the floor price, right? Here it is, profile figure project, what it is, where to go, whatever, all this stuff. But we're giving you a little bit more information about the roadmap or particular events, right? Like in late September, the BAYC team announced the roadmap 2.0. In October, BAYC announced the coming of a utility token. What I want to be able to do on these price history charts, and this is a pretty crazy one, viewed in this way, is and you can of course zoom, like, right? So I'm just rubber banding now and I've totally messed it up, but like that's a cool feature that you can do. You can reset it. Anyway, what we're going to hopefully be doing is inserting those key moments in time so that you can look at the price, right? Not correlation, causation. We're not going to talk about that, right? Not everything just causes another thing. But you could look at a historical date in a project's history and then evaluate the price action as a result of that. So late September 2021, maybe we'd have the specific date, or late October 2021, BAYC announces token in 2022, pinned right here on this page, and then you have all the price action that follows. Right? It's not going to be completely indicative of what happened or why it happened, but it would give you some insight as to right? Like if something notable happened, and you saw a price increase, like there might be a reason for that, right? Those types of things. So
it would also be cool if people could add their own pins, like just users of the site, and then maybe we could approve it or something like that. I think that would be a sick feature, similar to Rap Genius, where you have like moderators and anyone could enter something, but only moderators could approve it. I think that would be so sick. But obviously, that's a developmental issue there.
Yeah. Can I go back a couple questions here?
Of course,
This is the type of people we love. I didn't win,
we
but
love
I'm
you, Dominic.
subscribing. Thank you, Dominic.
We got so much love for you. You have no idea.
That's fantastic. It's good. We got a lot of great stuff. I appreciate everyone who took the time to send a note. It's great, but we're here. We're still happy to answer questions. So please, like any NFT, it's not off limits. This was the Smile show. We did the giveaway. Please, of course, learn more about Smiles. I'll include those in the show notes once the show is over. But ask other questions. Happy to banter. The last time we did this, the last time we did this, we said, okay, we're going to be on at 10 o'clock. And then we stayed on until like 11 o'clock. And I'm not promising that or anything. I've been awake since like 6 a.m. working for Lucky Trader. Yeah. I've been grinding all day to bring better things for you guys. So anyway, I'm trying very hard. But I'll do my best to stay on and answer questions if people have questions.
Same. Our boy Doug has got a question. Doug Cartwright, guest of the Danny Miranda podcast.
Is this one?
Is there a Lucky Trader event in New York City? It's a great question since we will both be there. Nothing formal has been planned, but maybe, potentially, me, Logie, friends, Lucky Trader could have something. We haven't talked about anything off stream, but I would imagine there would be a meetup that would be able to go down one of those nights. What do you think, Logie?
Yeah, so there is no formal event, unfortunately, guys. Lucky Trader just launched in beta in the last 2 weeks. So we're relatively new. Danny will be there. I will be there. Some other members of the Lucky Trader team will be in New York. If you are going to be in New York, if you're going to be at some of the popular events, like I know I'm going to the Creature World and OpenSea thing. Of course, you know now that I don't look like a duck if you're on this stream. So maybe some duck-like features. But anyway, yeah, feel free to let me know. Would be happy to swing by, chat NFTs if you're at one of the events. You want to grab a coffee or something, see what I can do. I'll be there, I think, Saturday through Saturday. I'll be in New York a whole week, I think.
Me and Logie are going to get up at like 6 a.m., get coffee, walk around the city.
I can't wait to walk. I freaking love walking the city.
Explore.
It's so good. It's so good. Let's make it happen. Yeah, if anybody's in New York, anybody's going to be at the events, let us know. We got a question from Barry. How many Gary V books you both own? Danny, you want to take this one?
So I initially bought 48 Gary V books, and I wrote in the chat, similar to you guys writing in the chat, while he was streaming, and I said, bought 48 books. You know, I'm hyped. And he says, after seeing my comment, Gary does, he says, Danny Miranda, you're a hustler. What is wrong with you, basically? Buy more books. You should definitely buy more books. And so I did. I bought 288 total books and 24 airdrops coming my way for version 1.5. We'll see how that plays out, but I'm excited to see whatever it is I'm going to get. Logie?
288 Gary V books.
I was literally buy. Like I probably had like 8 different orders because I was like, oh, I'll do 12 more. Oh, I'll do 12 more. Oh my God.
Danny,
oh my God.
I don't want to give too much away here, but you live in a New York apartment, right? What are you going to do with 288 Gary V books?
I'm going to give them away to subscribers of my podcast.
Yeah, but you have to house alpha you have to house them in your apartment, right?
We got enough space. This is a little alpha for people who want a free Gary V book. Is send me your address and and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will make sure you have a Christmas gift for you or your loved one.
Christmas gift.
A 12.5 by Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah. You guys should be subscribing to all those things anyway. You should make Gary. Oh, I'm going to get back to your question, Alex. Thank you for asking it, but you should make Gary V sign every single one. Gary V would probably gladly sign all 288, and he would do so like in patented Gary V style, like tons of energy, right? Yep. I can effing see it. You know what I mean? Like that's
one of my favorite things that I've been doing is watching TikToks of people doing Gary Vee impressions, and I am just on the floor laughing. I'll send
I've
you some
seen
of them.
these.
They're
I've seen
so good.
some of these. Okay, let's get to this question though. Can you talk about exactly what happens when a new project reveals? Are the ratings on Lucky Trader immediately accurate, or does every NFT have to be revealed before it's accurate, or what? Great question, Alex. So, what exactly happens when a new project reveals? So essentially, on luckytrader.com, when a new project reveals, that's when when everything's revealed. Everything. So not when it just starts and only a few have revealed, right? Or like in the case of a pre-sale where some are revealed and then a public sale later, like days later. Until everything is revealed, there's not going to be a rarity associated. You may see them in the Asset Explorer, right? Like you could physically see the assets as they reveal. But until everything is fully revealed, until all the metadata has kind of settled, I'm not sure the right word to use there, we're not going to provide a rarity ranking for folks because we want to avoid potentially inaccurate or incomplete rarities, right? We don't want you looking through the site, seeing that we have something ranked, but it's only ranked high because the others haven't revealed, right? Like I've made those mistakes on my own, just using the OpenSea metadata, right? As things reveal and then the percentages update. So we are waiting until all the metadata is fully revealed to calculate those rarities for you. Here's the other thing I'll say. They are, we use a model. We built a model. I'm actually working on an editing piece, right? I'm editing a piece right now from our data scientist at Lucky Trader to give you guys some insight into the rarity rankings and the rarity scores, right? Just to provide some transparency behind how we're doing what we're doing without giving away all of the trade secrets, right? There are some trade secrets. They are proprietary rankings. But anyway, yeah, we're in beta though, and like we're still evaluating these projects and like we're still fine-tuning that model. And so our rarity rankings are gonna be a little bit different than everybody else's. And that's like supposed to be that way. If you notice something that like seems like a glaring discrepancy, like maybe something got caught up somewhere, right? And so if you do see those things, feel free to reach out. The other thing I would say is just like my rule of thumb in working in NFTs right now, and Danny, we talked about this on your podcast, is just like if something doesn't quite look right, like in terms of the just like slow down. And like I think it's okay. You know what I mean? So that's the last thing I would say is like if something doesn't quite feel exactly right, just like slow down a little bit. You could ping us, we'll check it out, do whatever. But for the most part, yeah, instantly upon reveal, total reveal, you're gonna know what the rarity rankings are, and we're not asking anybody to pay to get put on the site either.
Yeah, that's sweet. And on the rarity piece, what I want to see from us, from the developer side, is I'd love for the rarities. And when you look on OpenSea, when it says rare number, whatever it is, I'd love for it to be color coordinated. So like if the top 1,000 were red or were green rather, and the bottom 1,000 were red and the middle were yellow, maybe. I think that would be a cool feature as like a way to just instantly know where you wouldn't have to like read the number. You just see the color and be like, okay, what do you think of that?
No, yeah. I think we're hopefully like again looking for every way we can possibly make it easier for folks. Not easier like we're not going to tell you what to buy, right? Not that type of easier.
Make it easier for you to evaluate on your own.
Exactly. We're going to give you all the tools and resources to the best of our ability that make it easy enough for you to like know what is of value or right. Not financial advice. Nothing here is all informational purposes, educational and informative and entertaining. Whatever else you want to add to that disclaimer. But yeah, we want to give you the tools and resources to make it so that like it almost is painfully obvious for you to build your own evaluation metric or framework or whatever. So good question. Good question. We got some questions from folks who maybe are hopping back in a little bit late. Yes, if you want a whitelist giveaway, you'll get a note from us, and you will probably from myself actually, and your Ethereum address, whatever you listed. I can't guarantee, of course, that people listed their appropriate address, but if you pasted in an address that is yours, that's the address we're going to pass to the Smilesss team to be able to whitelist for Smilesss drop on Friday. Okay. Do we have any other questions? We have some time. We got like 6 minutes till 10 o'clock. We've got time beyond if so needed. We still have some folks here.
Corey's asking, what's your best NFT bags?
Oh, this is. I mean, should I go to FIWO? Should we? Is it that time?
It is that time of the
Is it-
night, folks, where we have a Logie Hitchcock ferocious plug. Let's hear it for the boys.
So Corey, I love Ferocious, man. I freaking love Ferocious. And my bag, my favorite bag, is packed with Ferocious goodies. You can take a look at Ferocious art.
What was the most recent, or what was the first Ferocious piece you bought? And
It was this one.
wow.
Yeah, I bought Don't You See Him Hurting? I own number 16. It's in my vault. I bought it for 1 Ethereum in February. I mean, we can find it.
Logie Vault.
Whatever. I'm doxxed. It's whatever.
Docs the vault.
And not all my stuff's in my vault, just some of it. I bought it for 1 Ethereum 8 months ago.
Oh my God.
I bought it on February 15th, 2021.
Hashtag early.
Oh, not early enough to buy a bunch of stuff. I made some huge mistakes. Oh my God, we're not going to talk about it. But this is my best bag, Corey. This is, and like, I don't mean best even financially speaking, right? Because I don't, no, I do care about performing well financially in NFTs. This piece to me, like, I don't give a shit if it goes to 0 because I freaking love Ferocious. And I won't take Ferocious slander. I had some people earlier today in a personal chat were slandering Ferocious. Like, not like actual, you know, I'm playing it up more than I need to. It wasn't like real slander, right? But there's like, is the Ferocious art really that good? Shut up. Shut up. Yes, the Ferocious art is really that good. God.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Okay.
I really like it.
Yeah, that's my favorite bag. All right, we got some other questions here. I'm new to NFTs. Do you have a video that tells other benefits of NFTs besides just holding to sell? This is a great question. Besides just holding to sell, of course, D-Money at present time, a lot of the participants in the NFT ecosystem, and of course, this is what got me into it, full transparency as well, right, are here for financial gain or financial incentives. And so there are benefits to holding NFTs potentially that are of the financial value. There are a whole host of other things potentially. Danny, you're holding a VFriend. It is appreciated financially, but it's also unlocking for you access to VCon, right? VCon being an NFT conference hosted, well, NFT and more conference hosted by Gary Vaynerchuk, giving some access to Gary Vaynerchuk. There are other projects that are doing similar things, right? Where they're creating sort of like this, I don't want to use the word country club. I've seen that used, but country club feels too exclusive, right? Not inclusive enough.
Too
Country
waspy,
clubs,
right?
Yeah, country clubs historically, I think, feel like, you know, like not welcoming. You know what I mean? It's like you think of like that old guy who wants you to play faster and just like, shut up, boomer. You know what I mean? Something like that. We like boomers, sort of. Anyway, like there are other things like that, right? Country club type benefits. There are other projects that are actively like doing community. When I say community, that means not only like engaging people online, but doing like community things that are impacting real life, like foundations, both in charity, as well as like we had Max, your brother, on, right? Quantum Quokka's coming up. That's going to be like a kind of a companion with a real life coffee business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where there's sort of some perks and benefits to holding the NFT, whether that be sort of like a loyalty program or access to coffee or events and beyond. And so what I would say, D-Money, is like, if you're willing to sort of engage and go beyond the financial, there are going to be a whole handful of things that you could potentially open yourself up to. But that's not to say that everyone here is looking to do that or is even remotely interested in that. Right. So you have to be willing to find it. Most of the profile picture projects, unfortunately, are probably just money. You know, most of them, but and maybe, right? Like, I'm not looking to judge any one particular project, but
and also something could start out as just money and then lead to some crazy benefit in the real world that you couldn't have ever predicted before it started, right? Like, Bored Ape Yacht Club. You might have just invested in that for money, but what happened? It turned into now you can meet a professional basketball player or a professional football player like Von Miller or Steph Curry's now in that, right? Like, so I think that it's such a new space that something could evolve where it just starts as money, but it doesn't actually end up into something that's more than money, which I think Bored Ape for a lot of people and many other profile picture collections are more than money for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. We shouldn't be writing anyone off or assuming intentions really at any point in time for these projects, because why after 1 week or 1 month? 1 week is a long time in NFTs, but 1 month as well. Assume what might happen. So we had a couple other questions. What other? There's kind of two of these. I'm going to pull both up. What upcoming projects are you excited about? And then Tony dropped in under the radar stuff you like. I think these two almost go hand in hand. Danny, do you have anything that like upcoming that you got your eye on?
Yeah, Quantum Quokkas is one.
Quantum
obviously.
Quokkas. We're transparent on this show.
My brother's the dev for that project, and I'm just excited for him and excited to mint that, and just excited that he's got into the space. Another one is the Tenacious Tigers. This is not financial advice at all. I spoke to the creator of that project, or one of the creators of that project, and I had dinner with him, and I don't know how much I can say about it, but I was really excited by him, his vision. He seemed like a long-term player, and that was a really exciting thing to see. And he's also someone who's been involved in the daily fantasy sports world, so connection to Lucky Trader in that respect. So Tenacious Tigers and Quantum Quokkas, two profile picture.
Yeah, under the radar stuff. So Tony is just like so further into the weeds than I am. So I don't know that I can get under Tony's radar. I'm not sure it's even possible. Man, under the radar stuff that I like. I think Quantum Quokkas is under the radar. The other thing, we should bring it up. Like, I want other people to see this, because it's not even NFT related, but I want other people to see what a Quokka looks like, because they're so freaking adorable.
They're cute. The Quokkas are cute.
So a Quokka, if you guys have never heard that word before, is a little like marsupial that's indigenous to Australia. Max, Danny's brother, is deving Quantum Quokkas. Look at these freaking things. They're pretty freaking cute. But anyway, this is the generative project will be Quantum Quokkas. Nevertheless, so I think that's under the radar. I think that counts. Tony edited hen. Hic et nunc. I don't even know what language that is, but hen is the Tezos art chain. Yes, under the radar. Go-Go's are Go-Go's under the radar. Are people in on hen? Danny, have you bought anything on any other chain?
No.
Let's pull up hen. Let's do it. Fine, I'll do it.
Someone's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it. Actually, I'm not going to pull up hen. I'm going to pull up object.com, which is like better than hen in my opinion. Sorry to any lovers in the chat. Object, which is a Tezos marketplace, right? I mentioned Go-Go's. Full disclosure, I tweeted this the other day. Full disclosure, Go-Go's holder. I bought well above this floor price, so Go-Go's bag holder, whatever. Anyway, like Tezos NFTs are interesting anyway. Like there's actually a really strong Nifty table. I don't know if you follow Nifty table. I think pretty well respected like NFT market analysis, like general broad speaking market analysis. He just posted something the other day about hic et nunc. I should show that too. These are Go-Go's, by the way. Let me go to a different tab. Hic et nunc. Oh, no shit. Hic et nunc. .com. Scared. Oh. Well, whatever. I tried to go to hic et nunc. Nifty table posted about like the improvements. Oh, was I not even sharing my screen that entire time?
Nope.
Oh, sweet. It's fine. Go-Go's. Here we go. This is what I was talking about. Go-Go's bag holder on Tez. Anyway, he posted about the state of the market on hen. And it's like thriving, like 50,000 unique holders, maybe collectors. Like 20,000 artists. It's pretty nice. I mean, one of the reasons that it's developed so well at present time is like it's an alternative to Ethereum's gas fees. Like there's basically no fees on Tezos. It's like pennies. You know what I mean? But this is Go-Go's. This is what I was talking about. This launched recently. It's like one of the other, there aren't a whole lot of like collections on Tezos right now. The first big one was Tezards. Full disclaimer, I'm a Tezard owner as well. You might have seen these, right? Kevin Rose had one for a while. Deez rocked one. Andy rocked one. Ryan Doubt.
What's the floor?
Price low to high, 280. I bought. They launched for 15.
What's the USD translation?
Oh gosh.
Sorry.
Tezos USD price. 676. 676 times 280. $1,900. So like what?
That was
half
the
an
first
Ethereum?
one ever?
I think ish. Really? Like kind of the first collection? Like if I were to compare these to an ETH collection, this is going to sound ridiculous, but I'd compare them to punks. Does that sound ridiculous?
It sounds ridiculous today, but will it be ridiculous in 5 years?
And like I would let's say this: Tezards, punks, Go-Go's, Bored Ape Yacht Club, and I fully expect them both to perform just as well financially.
Not financial advice.
Just kidding. Not financial advice. If they do, that'd be great though, because I am a bag holder of both. But anyway, Hen. Somebody did say it's XYZ. Hick at nunk. Nunk.xyz. Here we go. This is Hen, commonly abbreviated as HEN, right? And it's just not a great experience. But you can see as you scroll through here, like a ton of art, and like good art, right? Like this is stuff that I like.
Yeah, it's a bunch of cool art.
Warm color palettes, like. So I've bought a bunch of stuff on Hen. To be quite honest, though, I mean, Tony's original question was like under the radar stuff. I have not been actively buying on Hen, but like things I was buying, like Miguel Arist, I believe that's his name. He does some animation stuff on Hen. Like what I was trying to do earlier this summer on Hen was. You have some really awesome artists. It's a Barry noted Pixel Fool, right? And like a handful of others, like Lauren Bednar and from Art Blocks, and like a whole host of other really notable artists, Pop Wonder, right, and beyond, that have dropped stuff on Hen for pennies, and they're dropping stuff on ETH, and like the min price for the stuff on ETH is like $5,000, right? Like 2 ETH, or like 1.5 ETH, right? And so what I was trying to do this summer was like basically arbitrage in a way. And the thing is, it's like it's not quite as simple as just like, oh, just buy these artists because they're expensive on ETH, because there's a whole variety of reasons, right? That one piece is priced the way it is. But I still think that's like kind of an under potentially utilized thing. Like I think you could do that right now and just kind of sit on it. Right. Like the thing is you may not have $5,000 to buy one of Lauren Bednar's. Like let's look up Bednar stuff, because that's the one example that comes to mind. I'm not sharing the screen. I suck at this. Let's look up Lauren Bednar stuff on, like, this is Phase, right? This is from Artbox. This I think started as Dutch auction maybe at 3 and like immediately ballooned. It's still sitting at 3.643, which is what? $15,000. Lauren Bednar. This is a 1,000-piece collection. I think 1,012 pieces of collection. It dropped under Art Blocks. If you go back to Hick at Nunk, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find him easily. That's the shitty thing about it's so bad. My God.
That's why there's arbitrage, though, because you can't search.
I know, and like it won't even work for me. What the hell? Let me go back to objects, see if I can find Lauren Bednar. If you go back though, I think we got it.
It looks so much like OpenSea. Is it OpenSea related?
No, I mean, this is a completely different blockchain. This is on Tezos, XTZ, different blockchain, not even Ethereum. These are Lauren Bednar works, and like I believe this is the legitimate Lauren Bednar here, right? Generative artist. These are generative works by Lauren Bednar. Of course, they're not from the Phase collection. They didn't drop on Art Blocks, right? Art Blocks carries weight on its own. There's a premium associated with Art Blocks. Ethereum as a security, layer and blockchain carries a premium over Tezos. Totally get those things. Totally respect it. But why do I have to pay $5,000 to buy a piece from Lauren Bednar that's in a 1,000-piece collection? I know they're like one of ones, right? Each one in that 1,000-piece collection. So there's something to be said about that too. But like, why $5,000 for one piece on Ethereum? But you can come in here and 10 Tez for a 26-piece collection from Bednar on, and 10 Tez is
$60,
$70. Like,
$70.
does that really make sense?
No,
I don't know.
I don't get it.
And so that's the stuff that I was trying to do earlier this summer. And
so is that going to blow up? Like,
you have this note from Barry. That ARB will probably pay when somebody like Coinbase lists Tezos NFTs. I actually saw a note from someone that I don't know that posted that Coinbase will have Tezos NFTs.
no way,
And
actually.
if Coinbase aggregates NFTs appropriately, right? So like what I mean by that is right now it's impossible to find all of Bednar's work, right? You got to find it by collection. Like if I go back to OpenSea, let me share my screen still on. Like,
Dude, this is some serious alpha right here at 1 hour 40 minutes into the show.
I know. You got to stick around. You got to be okay with the giveaway FUD. You got to be okay with it for the alpha, right? But like these are legit. He just dropped another experiment thing, Rick recently, Bednar did. 0.3 ETH, right? Not really any different from Phase. Like they don't look that much different than Phase, right? This is Phase. This is Art Blocks, 2.5 ETH. This is Experiment. This is Experiment, right? 0.3, 0.3, 0.3. Are you effing kidding me? Why? Right? Like this is the thing. If it was all about the art, Danny, or the artist, you would be buying Bednar's pieces for 0.3 because it would make no effing. Like just because a Picasso isn't like listed for sale or isn't in the same collection as all the others doesn't make it less valuable, right? And whatever, maybe my logic is jumping. It's freaking 10 at 11 p.m., but it doesn't make sense.
No, you're speaking facts right now. And if like what's the deal with Lauren Bednar? Because I've not stumbled across this.
Yeah, Lauren Bednar is a generative artist. Let me pull up his Twitter. Generative artist, like I don't like to use the word OG because whatever, you know, I'm not sure when and where it should. Okay. Well, I just don't know when and where it should be applied, really. Like whatever. So I'm not gonna.
That's a good topic for a further episode.
But anyway, yeah, Lauren Bednar, generative artist, like good artist, right? An artist that was selected by the Art Blocks curation board to do a curated project on Art Blocks. Like that should be your answer alone. Like, does this person meet like not only the prerequisite experience and like innovation for generative art, like they checked all the boxes for Art Blocks, then it should check all the boxes potentially for your collection, you know? And so not financial advice, but if you're looking to take some chances, you don't want to spend a lot of money, but you're like, I don't have time to actively curate a portfolio. I don't have time to flip. I don't have a big enough bankroll to do ETH NFTs and pay hundreds of dollars in gas fees. But I would like to maybe throw a couple $100 at some notable artists.
Or less than 100.
Get yourself a Temple wallet or Kukai wallet, or there's a handful of others, right? And like you can use Ledger with Tezos. I think you can use Ledger, maybe at least Trezor. One of the two hardware wallets, the notable ones, you can use. Get on Hen or Object and just like buy some, right? And like they could go to zero, and that's fine. But I don't know, man. Like I think your total upside is the Bednar piece on Hen. It's not gonna be $5,000. Like probably won't ever be $5,000.
Why not?
I don't think the economics work that way. Like if the Bednar piece on Hen is $5,000, the Bednar piece on Ethereum is probably like $50,000 or more, which is okay, right? Yeah, sure. I don't know. Maybe I just can't see it. You know what I mean?
Like, and also if it all becomes one, meaning it all the marketplace for Ethereum
aggregates. Yep.
Aggregates, exactly. and Tezos combines, then you might not know the difference. And what if they're both listed in USD and someone is like, oh, like, why is this so undervalued? Okay, I can just press one button, and the aggregation is a key piece.
Yeah.
So
I'm wondering how they're gonna do that. What that's gonna look like. So I don't think that they're gonna set them next to each other. Just a guess,
yeah,
but they may.
you
That
may
would
be
make
able to
sense,
search.
right?
You may
That
be
would
able to
make sense. I
search.
think it would make sense. I think it would make sense. And if they did that though, Danny, yeah, I think you're right. That could totally change the dynamic if they did list hen work, like Tezos works next to Ethereum
Ethereum.
work.
Yeah.
If they did that, like, ooh, look out. Yeah, that could change things. This is pure speculation, by the way, everyone. Of course, not financial advice. We're kind of just spitballing, but that is the type of
But it
stuff I
could
was
be.
doing this summer.
We could be clipping this in 6 months and being like, look, this is what we told you.
We effing nailed it. To the 30 people that stayed on after the giveaway.
Well, Kunta, thank you for saying this is amazing content. We appreciate that. And we had a question from Carlos saying, can you go over the Ghost cheaper collections?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I miss this? I gotta find it.
Yeah, you miss a little bit. You're in your zone. You're getting into it.
I know I did get into it. Can you go over Ghost cheaper collect? Okay, yeah, I can try to. Let me pull the screen back up. I actually I miss Ghosts. I missed it. I saw some Twitter talk about Ghosts in early this year. I mean, like real early, like when they were very cheap. And I was talking about this with a friend earlier today. Like, nobody could foresee any of it coming, you know? And so what I was trying to do, like what I feel like I was trying to do, Danny, at the beginning of the year was like I was trying to develop like this otherworldly conviction about particular projects, right? Instead of like doing the, oh, we're this early, everything's gonna go up thing. Right. And that's a bad way to just naturally think about it. Like you shouldn't just naturally think everything's gonna go up. But what I was doing is like I was too focused on finding a select few projects as opposed to maybe throwing some more darts given the nascency and like how, early we were. You know what I mean? And this is one of those. Yeah, good point. This is
like
one of
we're
those.
Still in that phase, to me, at least. And maybe we're not, but go for it.
This is one of those examples, though, where I was saw this early and just didn't actively participate. So he's asking about this. So this is Ghosts, and I'm not exactly sure. I apologize, Carlos. Like, I don't know if your question is specifically about like the different. So there's different kind of. I'm gonna blank on the word here. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. Like, there's different tiers of Ghosts, right? You have like immortals, demons, ghosts, aliens, lunar zodiacs. Like I'm not sure. I apologize. Maybe you can clarify with your question. Like, are you referring to just the cheaper, maybe more common options here, or are you talking about other works by the artist? Like things like this. I'm not entirely sure. If Carlos can try to clarify. I don't see a clarification yet, and that's okay. Anyway, I mean, this is a good topic potentially, maybe different than what Carlos was referencing, and hopefully he can get his thoughts to us, and we can try to maybe update. But interesting thing. So this artist here has built Ghosts, a collection, and sort of some other underlying works within Ghosts, collaborations with Cool Cats and a whole host of others. Very widely well received works. How then are the other pieces that artist builds valued? We've seen this like a whole host of times, like Waheed Zai, Smiles, right? Has other works available, now dropping a collection. We've seen it with Searlight. Searlight sold a piece to Anonymous for, I'm not sure that we're going to find it, but sold a piece for 100 ETH and then dropped Capsule House as well, right? This is Searlight, some of Searlight's work. Maybe not that big thing in the bottom there. I'm good at created. Right, like some of this work, just phenomenal work, right? That one of these, sick. I think it was Neon Village. Neon Village sell for 100 ETH. No, maybe it's this one. Rainy Day Encounter, 104, 125.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a great
Anyway,
way to build reputation, is to have like one of those big sales or to collaborate with notable
yeah.
artists or notable
But
people.
here's where my question was going. Sorry, I did take a long time to get there. Like, do you see other collections like this? And maybe this is what Carlos was asking, is like maybe one of those other, it's not an arbitrage, right? Like that's not the word to apply to this situation, but like, is this a kind of like ride the wave type opportunity where, you know, maybe you're not buying into the collection that everyone else is buying into, but you're hitching yourself to the success or lack thereof of the artist themselves and kind of naturally assuming that if the collection does well, kind of this is like a tide lifts all boats type scenarios. What do you think
Yeah,
there?
I think that's a good insight, and I think that it's like if an artist builds him or herself as a brand and as a person, then all of their work is going to go with it. But you know, you have to pick the right ones.
Yeah, okay. Let's try to answer this question, and then I don't know if anybody saw, but I just yawned. So we'll give this till
Getting
10:30.
tired? Logie getting tired?
I only ended up doing one espresso today. I know I tweeted about a second, but I did only get to one.
Fake news, Logie?
Fake news. I was going to do it. Okay, so yeah, I think maybe we started to answer this a little bit, Carlos, for you there. Danny was kind of giving his feedback on like, right. So these are not the Ghost collection, but this is sort of like a. I'm not exactly sure how this ties. Full disclosure, don't know 100%, but this is same artist. In terms of art, you know, it's like very similar in nature to that piece or the handful of pieces from the Ghost collection. I think this is totally like a do as you see fit based on your bankroll and the risks that you can take. But I do think that adding a piece like one of these is likely like probably better than just minting random stuff, right? Like you're talking about a solidified artist, solidified collections to like a super notable brand. I guess like what's one way we could think about it? Like musicians or artists, musical artists, for example, right? Like their best songs, their top hits get the most plays. But also even their worst songs get tons and tons of plays. Is that a terrible analogy?
It's a great analogy. And it's not perfect because it's not money, it's attention. But NFTs are a way for creators to monetize attention. And so if you transfer that over and you start thinking, okay, well, if an artist has one big hit, that's gonna bring up the value of their
Yeah.
lowest hits, their lowest songs, their lowest pieces. I think that's a really good take.
Yeah. And the other thing you said there is like you mentioned it might not have been money with music stuff. It was attention. But the same thing works here.
Yep.
Where if Searlight sells a piece for 125 Ethereum, everyone rushes to the other Searlight pieces to see, oh, wait a minute. Is there something like I do the same thing with Ferocious, right? Ferocious sells Mr. Misunderstood, the sculpture, for 2.8 million at Sotheby's. And I rush to Ferocious's collections and like, okay, I need to add because this is ridiculous. Ferocious is like the greatest artist of all time. How do I get more Ferocious pieces? And like I rush and I buy basically the cheapest available Ferocious piece, playing the exact same thing. You know, like the tide lifts all boats type thing. So yeah, and Tony also mentioned, and Tony is much more in like in it than I am. So I would take his word over mine.
Imagine that anyone's really much more in it than you, but
He is.
Tony is.
Tony has much more alpha than I do, believe it or not. He's just not on this stream to give it to you. He's kind of like a hidden gem for only
special guest
Tony
coming
folks.
in for
maybe we'll spin for I know we're speaking totally for Tony right now, but like maybe we'll spin for access to Tony or Lou, like right? Like these are people that people need and want access to. We'll spin for access to them and we'll just play it. Like we'll just talk about it. Anyway, Tony said thinks there's a lot of utility for the major Ghost series, access to other drops, etc. That's another thing that like beyond like one collection, a lot of artists are doing, right? They're trying to provide value to existing holders. And so whether that automatically whitelist you, we were talking about ACK earlier. I showed Island Boy. he gifted Island Boy to
The Island
his.
Boys.
Yeah, I showed you that piece, right? I'm gonna pull up ACK real quick. Did I stop
Did he
sharing my
gift
screen?
it to the Island Boys though themselves?
Oh no, he didn't gift it to the Island Boys. I don't think. Maybe he did. He gifted this piece to 9 holders that like had a collect, and these are, you'll recognize these names, right? Vincent Van Doe, Anonymous, Sergito, like.
So we just gifted
Yep.
them $7,000.
Oh well, I mean that's the highest offer, Danny. One
Oh,
sold
okay.
for, and dude, I don't know, 459F, 494F9 4FA. I don't know this, but my guess is that much more of a paper hand. Like Vincent Van Doe, Anonymous. I'm gonna butcher the name. Barat though is very very notable holder. Sergito, like
Yep.
these dudes aren't gonna sell. They don't need to sell. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but that
Money attracts the money. It's crazy.
Regardless though, like this, all I was getting to is like you're seeing artists do this. So if you hold a ghost, and I don't know what the plans are, but if you hold a ghost, you may be eligible for other benefits. D Money was on earlier. I'm not sure if D Money's still around, but was asking about, is there any other reason to hold? Well, yeah, maybe that, like, of course that could still mean financial incentives, but maybe it's you get access to new pieces or new access to the artist. Like I think Drifter Shoots could maybe cure my fear of heights if I had access to him. Know what I mean?
I feel the fear in my hands and feet every time I go through my Twitter feed. But it's a really important point about these people have established brands and they have reputation and skin in the game after having some success. So they're more incentivized to help holders of their lower collections. So it's an interesting, good point.
Yeah.
This is a great question as well.
Yeah, this is a good question. I think this is a good one to end on. We had a note that asked, like, what time is it locally there? Well, it's only 10:26 p.m., but I woke up bright and early to do some stuff for Lucky Trader, and I still have some work to do tonight for Lucky Trader before I go to bed. So that's why we're going to sign off here in a few minutes. But thank you. Yeah, thank you everyone for being here and sticking around. If you have stuck around for this long, or for hopping on at all, definitely greatly appreciated. We'll be back on Thursday night with a guest. I'll tease that later. Anyway, everyone is kind of making this big assumption that Coinbase's NFT platform is going to pump our bags, but will it really? Skeptical at best. Of course, do not know for sure. I think also short term, we shouldn't probably really expect too much. I don't necessarily anticipate a whole huge massive, like, here's what I think, and I don't know technical analysis or the terms for chart stuff, right? And I don't think it should necessarily be applied here. Oh, D Money's still here. All right. Anyway, I think what we might see is like boop, like on initial unramp, right? Like boop, and then like a kind of a boop, and then like plateau, and then maybe like slight decline, and then maybe plateau a little bit again, right? I think what it's going to do is like there are going to be a whole host of people that are going to get access that didn't have access before, that are going to love it immediately and like totally get it, like totally understand, totally be like immersed in it, whether it be financially or the community or whatever, right? Whole variety of reasons to potentially collect. What I think it's also going to do is like a bunch of other people are going to buy in or try, and they're going to realize that like, oh, you don't just mint and print. By the way, mint and print, mintandprint.xyz.
We gotta get t-shirts, mint and print t-shirts.
Yeah, I'm thinking about what to do with mint and print. We're gonna get to this, Alex. I promise. We're gonna probably stay a little bit beyond 10:30. Damn it. But
do you
now
really
that
want to leave?
I should leave. I have stuff I need to do before the end of the night. Like I definitely need to do it, and I am getting sleepy. But on the last show, it just casually rolled off the tongue. I said mint and print, and I was like, oh shit, that's kind of cool, right? Yeah, stuff. So mintandprint.xyz.
You have a dude, this is the real alpha. 2 hours into the stream, you have a site?
Mintandprint.xyz.
No way.
I was in touch with some IP lawyers earlier this morning. I didn't get answers I wanted to hear, but I did. I was chatting with some legal counsel about trademarking mint and print. So anyway, here's what I want to say about mint and print. I think there are some cool things that I could potentially do. Like, we want to do cool stuff on this stream, right? Like, we've talked about, I don't know that we said it on the last one, but like, we've talked about like building an NFT on stream. I'm going to be unlaunching an ERC 721 tutorial on Lucky Trader soon. We have a great Solidity dev at Lucky Trader. Shout out Todd. He helped put together like a little Solidity tutorial, like ERC 721 tutorial, because what we want to do at Lucky Trader is like not only support NFT collectors and like not just for financial reasons, right? Nothing's financial advice. We want to make you successful, but not going to tell you what to buy. But we also want to just kind of support the broader NFT ecosystem, right? So if you're interested in creating, we want to try to give you some tools to potentially create. So that's what this is about. We might build one on stream, but I think mint and print, like we could do something cool. Like if there are artists out there, ferocious, if there are artists out there that want to like mint an NFT or like work on, like Ferocious does physical like stuff, like clothing, right? Like we can let people mint it and print it and send it to them or do whatever. I own mintandprint.xyz. I've trademarked this bitch.
Sick. So sick.
We can do whatever we want. So if there are artists listening,
we should consider renaming the show to Mint and Print.
No, because I own the trademark. I can't give it to you yet.
What do you mean give it to me? I'm not taking it. You could take all the money. I'm just here for the journey.
Your dirty paws on mint and print. Yeah, I mean, I think we should do mint and print. The other thing we were talking about, Tony, sorry, I'm going to say this out loud. Tony might be mad at me. We're talking about like building kind of like a rugged podcast / media thing to talk about some like, not like nefarious activity, right? Like not malicious stuff, but like maybe talk about some of the ruggings or some of like stories behind some of those things. I don't know. Tony's probably mad at me. Probably gonna DM right now about how I shouldn't have leaked that.
No, it's good. A little teaser. I didn't know what you're talking about. So now people are a little curious, I think. So
people are curious.
That's the first I heard of it.
Mint and print.xyz coming soon. That's all I can say.
Very excited. But back to Alex's question.
Yeah, back to Alex's question.
What do you think? Do you think it's going to be a big spike and then it's going to go down? It's going to baseline a little bit and then it's going to go down from there. And I'm curious if the bottom from that is going to be higher than our previous local top, which was, let's say, August 29th.
Listen to these terms. That's what I'm talking about. You want to know if the bottom is going to be higher than our... Wait, you asked if the bottom was going to be higher than our last local top?
Yes. Is the bottom of your prediction?
I see.
Tony's so mad at you.
I know, damn it.
Okay.
So print and rugged. Yeah. Anyway, okay, yeah, sorry. I know what you're saying. So
last local is the bottom of the next
local top, then we went up more, right? And we're creating another local top. And all you're saying is the previous local top, right? Will the bottom be above that?
Is the bottom that you predict going to be higher than it was August 29th?
No.
Explain yourself, Logan.
So we didn't set a time though, right? You didn't say a time, right? You were just asking like, dude, I know you're struggling, but like I'm struggling. It's 10:11.
I'm not struggling at all.
I know.
I want you to understand. I want to get on the same page about this. Let's say Coinbase launches their platform on January 1st. Okay. And we stay at this level until January 1st, which is probably not going to happen, but let's just say for argument's sake that we do. Is Coinbase launching? It's going to go way up, right? Your prediction goes way up.
I don't know that it goes way up, but it goes
up. You literally just said that. I'm taking your words.
No. I didn't say, I said, it's going to go up. I think it's going to go up. I don't know about way up.
Okay. So it's going to go up. Is when it goes back down, is it going to be above the level that it was at August 29th?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. Here's what I think. We've seen in the last 2.5 weeks more of like probably a normal market dynamic. Did I say that? More normal, right?
It's
More
normal until
normal.
it's not.
More normal market stuff where like you have days where things go up, you have days where things go down, you have days where things go up like a medium amount, you have days where things go up a big amount, you have days where things go down a little amount, right? Like those are normal things in markets. That's just how markets work. What isn't normal is up only and up severely only, which is what we saw like for a pretty significant duration of the last few months, right? And so what I think is going to happen is like, yeah, and Barry just said here, there's 50 million a day being priced in PFPs, and there's like 50 million PFPs dropping a day as well, right? It's like we are going to add significant demand, definitely, right? With Coinbase, right? We have millions of new people on a wait list, but we're also going to add tons of supply, and we will hit a point at which that supply is going to, at least short term, equal or outpace that demand. And you could even say
right now.
well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is like you could even say we've done that right now. The thing that I think is interesting is I think maybe in terms of like fervor, like in just in terms of sentimental demand, not financial like money backing demand, sentimental demand. I think we're there right now. Like people that are actively participating, like I'm feeling this from people. Like people are like not minting as frequently. One, because price isn't just going straight up. Two, like people are like looking for something new. You know what I mean? Because profile picture projects are like boring, maybe. You know what I mean? And so,
Hate.
yeah. So like I think like based on just total energy, maybe NFT NYC will change this. Like maybe Danny Cole. I'm gonna be at Creature World Drop November 4th. I'm gonna be at the Creature World OpenSea thing. Maybe Danny Cole's gonna drop like some crazy shit. Like I totally expect him to, in like a cool, good way. You know what I mean? I'm excited to be there, by the way. And maybe like we see a new infusion of energy, right? With NFT NYC, it wouldn't be out of the question. Like not
Because
totally
people bring their
unexpected.
friends, right? People are like, "Yo, come to this," and then they're like, "What is this? Why am I here? Who is this guy?" And then you tell them the whole story. So it could bring a lot more people and a lot more excitement to the space. And it's funny too, because right now it almost feels like a dawn for NFTs. Not like a major bear market or anything, but people are like the excitement's waning down, like it's not exciting. NFT NYC comes in, and people maybe start going bananas, going crazy in a whole new way. And it, that's my personal, not financial advice prediction.
Yeah. I
Excitement
don't know.
and funds come into the space when people get excited and have the passion. Bro, I mean, even when we were together, I got excited when we
Yeah, I
had a
know.
couple meetings together. And that was two people. Imagine when it's hundreds, thousands all in the same room.
Yeah. Okay. I know we had some other questions. Unfortunately, we're gonna need to reserve those for another time. If you can't tell
Logan's
based on
time.
my face, I'm fading fast. And I have some more work to do to prepare you. One last thing. On luckytrader.com at the homepage, we left up for a while the beta launch video, just so folks that like maybe were coming in into print.
Beta launch.
But maybe folks that were coming in for the first time, just to make sure that they could see the beta launch video. And if you haven't seen it, you can find it on the YouTube channel just to check out all the resources here. It's a little bit of a walkthrough. I also have a playlist on YouTube for the Lucky Trader channel, this channel you're watching on, that does a tools and resources tutorial for all of the new tools and resources, especially like bid mode from today as well, right? But what you'll see in this top corner now is like we're going to give you some insights into the day's news. Every day right on the homepage. There's a quick little video from me. That's what I need to build here in the next couple minutes to prepare it for early morning. But I'm going to be building that every single day. It's going to be kind of like your homepage. I know right now I'm sort of doing like this little play on like daily news, like guy holding the newspaper, but well, that's what we want to be. We kind of want to be your homepage for NFTs. So if you guys have things you want to see, if you guys have things you want us to do, I can't promise we'll do them. I can't promise we can create them, but we would love your ideas. Want to make consumers happy. That's it, right? I mean, it's quite that simple. So, all right, Danny. Last words.
Last words are I'm so happy that the internet connection started working and so happy we could just do this giveaway for people, and it's such a pleasure to do these streams, and just happy to be here and happy it all worked out, and excited to keep doing these. What about you? Give me those last words, those parting bits of wisdom from Logie.
Parting words. Please do like, subscribe this channel, download the Lucky Trader podcast. Show up Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We will be back. We will see you guys there. We'll have a guest. We'll clean it all up. I'll be better. Not really. I'll probably be just as degenerate and all over the place as it was tonight. But that's what we're about. I'm going to remove us from the stream. We're going to end the broadcast. We're going to catch you guys on Thursday. Thanks so much, Danny. See you later, man.